Come on. Here we go. Here we go. What up? What up? What up, everybody? What up? What up? This is New York, New York City's live podcast. I want to thank y'all for coming through and tuning in. I know it's Wednesday. I know some people are still at home and they sitting at home because we already know what's going on with the beer flu and whatnot going around. But man, I want to thank y'all for coming on in and joining me. Man, smash that like button as y'all in here. Smash the like button. Smash it while y'all in here. I'm gonna shout out a few people while we in here because we're gonna go ahead and get started because the guest of the hour is here. He's already here. We chopped it up for a few minutes. Make sure his connection was right before we got on. He's good to go. He's ready to roll. So, man, shout out Fox Body Cam. I see you tuning in. I know you tuning in. I checked you out earlier today. E3, you knew coming through. Shout out to you, E3, for coming through. Smash that like. Go ahead and follow your boy. Silverback, that's my dude right there. He always in here in the place to be. Miss Nova, how you doing, Miss Nova? I already know you smashed the like button. I already know. A5 cut it, boy. What's happening? What's happening? Man, Demon Durango, man. Ain't nothing bad I can say about it. That's my bro from New York, from Queens. Shout out to you, bro. Man, shout out to Pony. Oh, Pony 1992 is up in the building. Man, he had a wonderful live last night. And yes, Pony, I am working on situation with getting the folks on. I told you I was going on. I'm going to say that for the announcement at the end, but we're going to go ahead and get started. Y'all, hopefully, like I said, hopefully y'all had a great day. I see you, Twin. I see you in the building. Everybody smash the like button as you come through. I know with everything that's going on, I'm here to cheer everybody up. But we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to go ahead and start to get going. Nova on Root, what's happening? I saw that video you put out. You got the mufflers done on it, man. It sounds good. It sounds good. Man, it sounds real good. So, y'all, we're going to go ahead and get started and whatnot. My guest is already here, ready to go. Everybody smash the like button. Y'all ain't here. Man, I can say nothing but great things about the guy that's coming on tonight. Mr. Jonathan Price, Mr. JP, a.k.a. Mr. Down for Sound himself is in the building. Man, I met him over 10 years ago. I've seen his drive. I've seen his motivation. I support him 100%. And as y'all see, yes, instead of having on my merch, I have on his shirt because I've ordered so much stuff from him, from doing people's motorcycles, from doing people's cars, doing people's trucks. Because, yes, I install audio as well. And he is my go-to person I go to get everything from. When I say everything except for the head units, because he's not selling head units yet. Hopefully he get ready to sell head units. And I know somebody asked that question. We're going to get to it. But, man, I want to welcome my man, the man himself, Mr. JP, Mr. Jonathan Price, a.k.a. Mr. Down for Sound himself, to the building.
What up, guys? What up? Oh, guys and gals. Like you said, there's some ladies too. So,
yes, there's some ladies in here too. Yes, there's some ladies in too. First of all, JP, I want to say thank you. I know your schedule's real hectic right now because people are probably trying to buy everything they can right now, especially with some of the deals I see you got going on and income tax time. So I want to thank you with your busy, from your busy schedule for coming through and blessing the spot.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So we're going to go ahead and get started. Man, like I told you earlier, so many people ask so many questions, but we're going to start from the beginning. We're going to start with the whole beginning of you getting the car audio. What got you into
it? Like as far as like very far back in the day when I was a young whippersnapper, or you mean like what got me started with the Tahoe?
Well, we can go all the way back to your whippersnapper and speed up to the Tahoe.
Okay, so the first thing that got me hooked on car audio was it's pretty funny. I put this out. I think I did it on my YouTube channel because a lot of people ask that, like, what got you hooked on bass or whatever. So anyway, I was riding with my mom one day in Greenville, Mississippi. That's where I'm from, and I was with her. I was probably like 13. I wasn't old enough to drive yet, and I was in the passenger seat. We pulled up to this red light, and I hear something. I'm like, man, what is that noise? Like, and then they get closer and shake my mom's car, and she's all like, what is that noise? She's like going crazy. She's an older white lady, so she's not gonna like music like that loud or whatever. So I'm like, so she's doing that face, and I'm over here like, what? This is cool as hell. What is this? And I'm like, I look over there, and this guy pulls up, and his roof's rippling on his truck, and I was like, man, that's the coolest thing ever. So fast forward, like a couple of years ago, and I get my what's called a hardship in Mississippi. If you worked when you were younger, no, it's 14 and a half, you could get a hardship. So if you had a job, you could only drive from your job to work, and then from work to back to your house or whatever. From home to work, and then from work back to home. So I was driving back home from work one day. My very first job was actually chopping cotton in the fields of Mississippi. Believe that or not, that was my first job. That was my very first job. But anyway, I was on my way home from doing that, and I pulled up at a light, and here comes that dude again. Like he pulls up beside me, but I'm driving this time, and he's playing his Bruce Rippling. So I get behind him, I follow him to the gas station, and I'm like, yeah, what is that? I didn't even know what bass was at the time. I'm like, I don't know what's making this root. So I was like, what's doing that? He's like, I got these subs back there, and he showed me this. And yeah, I think he had like two Rockford 12s or something back there, but it was making the roof ripple. It was on a truck, sort of like the work truck that I have now. But anyway, I was like, man, can I hear it? And he played it for me, and man, I was hooked. That's what hooked me on bass. Like, and I've been into car audio ever since that dude. His name's Eric Washington. Like, he's very cool, and that's probably what got me hooked on bass for sure. I just kind of took it to a different level, like the older I got. Obviously.
Oh yeah, you definitely done that. Yeah, I haven't been. For those that don't know, y'all need to check out his Tahoe. I've been in it, and that's back when you had the PSIs in it. And I know it's changed a lot since then. And I was supposed to come to Vegas this year, but with everything going on, I don't know what's going to happen. But I was supposed to come this year, come to the shop, do some shopping while I'm in your place of business and whatnot, to get some supplies and whatnot. And they hit a Tahoe. But you have done so much to that truck, which I know we're going to get into. I got people private messaging me. Let's get to the Tahoe. We're going to get there. They want to know the inspiration of the build of the Tahoe.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to tell everybody, I appreciate everybody coming in. And I mean, I know like some people might think I'm something special or whatever, but I still view myself as this country boy from Mississippi. So to like see a lot of people get excited about me coming in and doing a podcast and everything like that, it's really cool and humbling to me. So I'm grateful to have people coming here to listen to my story.
Hey, it's motivational inspiration. And JP, that's what my whole show is about. My whole show is about motivating, inspiration, and giving people their accolades and flowers and just do what they living. And you was one of them. When I first started, I said, I got to get JP on. I got to get him on. I got to get him on because I got to tell him why he's living. That, man, everything you've been doing from beginning, like the story you just told, I know the story because I've been following you for God knows how long. And like I said, I met you over 10 years ago. And the crazy thing about it is I was like, whenever I get him on, I got to give him his just due, period.
Cool, I appreciate it. Yeah, once again, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, even though you just said I'm just a country boy from Greenville, Mississippi, man, it doesn't matter where you from. It's what you're doing, and it's motivating people that you may have not have no idea how far it's going motivating people. I've had people message me that's from Ireland, and I'm like, wow. And he was like, yeah, we liking what JP's doing. We watching. Matter of fact, he's watching right now. He said, yeah, I'm supposed to be working, but I'm watching.
Yeah,
I figured Ireland would have been shut down, but okay. He's probably messaging me. But man, for the setup you have now, I know it's like Neo 4.0 now.
That's so, it's Neo Ho now. So I had Ho 4.0, and then like now it's Neo Ho. The reason why it's called Neo Ho is because all the speakers are neodymium based. So I got Neo Teen Sundown subwoofers in there, 6 of those. And then I have all the tweeters are Neo magnets, and all the mid ranges are Neo magnets. So that's why I call it Neo Ho. Like some people are like, why do you call it that? But that's the reason why. And I see no speed limit production asked, does Mr. Downbersound ever go to slamming and jamming in Lebanon, Tennessee? I was
just about to post that up.
Yeah, believe it or not, that was one of the like I went to college. If he's asking about that show, he's probably familiar with this college. I don't even know if it's still there, but it was called Nashville Auto Diesel College in Nashville, Tennessee, and that's the actual that's where I went to college at. So that's when I found out about slamming and jamming way back in the day. I mean, that's been like, man, showing my age here, but like 15 years ago, 15, 16 years ago. It's crazy for me to say that because my biggest following is younger, like the younger generation, like your high schoolers and your college kids. So I kind of have like a young feel to me because like I'm always interacting with these teenagers and these like college kids in their early 20s. So to somebody to ask like that question, did you ever go to slamming and jamming? Man, it was 15 years ago. Like I was going to slamming and jamming, like, but I haven't been in a while. But I did like go to that show a few years while I was in college over there, and a couple of years after I moved back to Mississippi. It was a great show.
Yeah, I've actually had been to that show. I used to drive from Atlanta to there when I lived in Atlanta at the time, and I always had a great time every time I went. I didn't even know they still had it going on because I don't hardly hear about it.
Right. Yeah, I don't know if they do either. I know they was having a trouble. Like the last time I heard anything about it, they were having bad troubles with the cops. Like they were just out of control. Like couldn't even cruise it after the show or anything. They wouldn't allow any cruising or nothing. Like it was just super
Uh,
strict. So like I think that's the last thing I heard about it. So I'm not sure.
Now, a lot of people have asked me this question right here, and I'm posting it right up at GTAV said, think I seen bro knock, I think I seen bro knock the bra out of a female from the truck earlier today. Yes, that's from the promo. For those that don't know, I was hoping she was in here by now. That is Miss Cars with Coco. She was actually on my show about actually the day before Valentine's Day. She was on, and she named the footage, and then I was like, yeah, I remember. And I had to put two and two together. I was like, okay, that was you. Okay. So I had to put that in there and whatnot. Shout out to Coco. I know she's probably either getting off work and I know she's going to end up probably tuning in and be like, why did you do that? Why did you put that up there? But I had to because the face she made, I mean, I laughed at that for a long time.
Yeah, she
Back
was a
when that
great
footage first came out. But a lot of people have also asked me this. They was like, with your new setup right now, could you break down that whole setup with everything you got with the lithium batteries? And how great are lithium batteries?
Yeah, so I'll run through it really quick. So we always start with the electrical. That's the most important part of a build is making sure your electrical is up to par to like the size of the build that you're trying to be doing. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm running 5 MechMan alternators, 4 alternators, 320 amp units that run my 16 volt or my sub side, and then I have one MechMan 370 unit that I use to run the 12 volt or the truck side. Uh, so
Mm-hmm.
that so that runs through. I have 4 runs of zero gauge power and ground. So I have each alternator has dedicated 2 positives and 2 negatives. So that means there's what is that? 20 runs of zero gauge wire going back to the back battery bank from the alternators in the front. So there's 20 runs. In the back we have the battery bank, which is I just had it redone because that's a whole like I took it. We took it to have some mechanic work done to it. I don't know if you saw that, but the mechanics messed with
Yeah, I saw it.
and they burned up all my lithium batteries. So that was about. I ended up getting it was a $28,000 loss that I had encountered for that. Ended up selling that shop for I think around 20 or something. But anyway, so after that happened, I went with some newer model. It's called LTO cells, lithium titanate. They're
Oh,
called. A lot of people know them as a yin long cell, but they look like some people think they're capacitors. So because they're like a small cylinder shape, so that people will think that they're caps, but they're not. They're lithium batteries.
mm-hmm.
I have almost 600 amp hours of lithium batteries back there, which is equivalent to almost 25 to 28 regular D3100 style batteries. So very, very powerful back there. But like my idea is to always overdo your electrical because it's sort of like an insurance policy. Like if you don't have a strong enough electrical for the system that you're running, you run into low
Mm-hmm.
voltage issues, and that's one of the biggest killers of an amplifier is running low voltage. Like you can't.
Yes.
The lower the voltage gets, the harder the amp is having to work to try to put out the power. And when you can't, it's almost like you're running on a treadmill or you're making your amp run on a treadmill wide open with a mask over its face. Like it's gonna fail. So anyway, that's what I have for batteries. And then for my sub side, I have 4 Sundown Audio NS2 amplifiers. These dyno out at almost 20,000 watts a piece. Or I would say 18,000, somewhere around there. But I have 4 of those running 6 Sundown Audio Neo Team 18s, and
Mm-hmm.
that's my sub side, and it's in a fourth order bandpass, 3-to-1 ratio fourth order bandpass. So it plays a really wide range of music. As you can tell in the videos, it gets super windy. Like it'll blow stuff around like crazy, but it'll also like choke. Like once the frequency gets up higher, it'll really crush your chest in and like really get in your throat where you can barely like. It's a really good fourth order. And then
Yeah.
going to the mids and highs, in each one of the doors, we have 6 Crescendo Ultra Neo 10s and 6 Crescendo FT1 Super Tweeters. So in total, there's 36 10s for mids and 36 Super Tweeters for like the highs. Um, other than that, I mean, we have the totally custom, like all the door panels are totally custom. On the mids, we have um, on each door we have a DefBont 3,000 watt amp. So 3,000 watts per 6 mids in the doors. So we have um, almost 25,000 watts on just mids, like just the mids. So pretty crazy on that compared to like a lot of people don't have that in their subs, but when we're just trying to do stuff on a different level, so we just made it crazy and did like big power, and then obviously the whole dash is stack fab custom, like from total scratch. The guy James Taylor, high voltage car audio in Birmingham, Alabama, he's the one that built the entire truck. Did an
Yes, I
astounding
got
job.
to meet him a few times.
Yeah, yeah, the dude's very, very talented. I recommend anybody go to him. Get like whatever you can dream of for a build, he can make it happen. He's not the cheapest person, and he shouldn't be, because the quality of work that he produces is just like next level. It's up there. So
and his Tahoe.
oh, he has 15, I think 12, 15 or 15, 15 or something like that. His is windy as hell too. But that's pretty much it. We have two iPad Pros, iPad 12.9 Pros, one in front of the subwoofer steering wheel. I know people are going to ask about that. But
Yeah.
in front of the subwoofer steering wheel is running off of an app called Dash Command. Dash Command allows the iPad to connect to your vehicle's computer, so it can sense the RPMs, the miles per hour, all that stuff. So it shows up on a digital display instead of the old analog that comes from the factory. The one that is in the console location is it's set up to run all the system components through an app or a module called a SPOD, SPOD. It's like a computer relay box where you can. So I don't know if you've ever seen me open that app, and it's like turn amps off or turn fans on. Like it makes it, instead of you having 100 relays, like having to wire. Everybody knows how hard it is to wire a relay up. You have 4 wires or 5 wires going to this little box to make it work. And then you can only imagine if you had 25 amps you're needing to turn on, or like something crazy, it turns into this big mess of wires. So anyway, I use that to run all the amps and the system pretty much. And the system runs through a Rockford 360.3 processor. That's what I use. That's the brain of the whole system. So that's pretty much it. I guess in the shortest explanation of what the system is.
I know some people right now, like they still stuck on the batteries, the amp wattage. They're like, what? For y'all, it's a lot to explain into one. And I will definitely make sure I post the link up. Y'all really need to watch this channel, because I've watched the build from when the truck was blue to all the way what it is now. And it's a lot to kind of explain in this one little time while we online right now and on this live and on this podcast. But I'm going to tell you one thing. The truck is no joke. It's no joke. I've been in a few, and I haven't even been in a new setup. The old setup had my chest hurt. And now this new setup, I can't wait to see it. Period. And shout out to those who have seen it and whatnot, seen the new setup. Man, I salute y'all, especially for that one guy that almost puked on it. He sent me a message. I sat in that truck, and when I got out, I started puking. But, and a lot of people also ask about the whole steering wheel. How did you come up with the concept with the subwoofer as the steering wheel?
I actually, it's funny you asked that. Like a lot of people think I dreamed this up, or like I knew I had to do something custom for a steering wheel, and I didn't really care like what kind of steering wheel I had. Let's see. Somebody asked, how much do you have invested in your system? I'll tell you that in just a second. But so I've actually did a poll. I asked on my social media. I can't remember which page it was, but I was like, what should I do for a steering wheel? And like so many people were saying, subwoofer steering wheel. So I'm like, I hit up Sundown, like, hey, can I get a 15-inch basket for a sub and like the whole thing? And pretty much they sent that over to James, and actually the guy that trailers my truck to all the shows, he's a metal fabricator. So he fabricated an adapter bracket to adapt the sub to the steering wheel or steering column flange. So it just bolted right up. Like it was just like that. And James, being the wizard that he is, somehow made it where it could honk when you push the damn like dust cap down. So it's pretty crazy that he was able to do that.
Wow. Uh-oh, something just happened to the sound.
Oh, can you hear me?
There we go. Now the sound came back. It just went out for a second.
Okay. I don't. Somebody's asking what's my channel name. My channel name is The Life of Price on YouTube. And
Yeah, I was actually gonna paste the link up for everybody to see it and whatnot. And then the sound went out, and I was like, I stopped what I was doing just to find out what was going on with the sound. But y'all, I will definitely. I'm gonna post the link up in the chat, and it was also gonna be in the description as well. It just wouldn't let me do it for some reason early before I started. I don't know why, but it wouldn't let me do it.
Is that you that just posted? Somebody just posted a link to my channel.
Oh, there it is.
And I also have a Okay, yeah, thank you. That's my YouTube channel. We're rapidly approaching 500,000 subscribers on there, so very humbling for me to be able to do that. I'm just a guy like from a small town like 15,000 people in Greenville, Mississippi. Like, so it's really humbling for me to be able to reach so many people so fast and like be able to interact with so many people. So that's my channel name, The Life of Price. I appreciate y'all if y'all like subscribe to me and watch my videos and share them. It means a lot to me. It helps me more than people will ever know. And as far as the other question the guy had, how much do I have invested in the truck? I actually did a YouTube video explaining this, so we can drop a link for that as well. But it's somewhere like around $107,000. Like was on that video I go through and I detail out everything, like the cost of everything, and like I just put it all out there. And like I said, I'm a very open individual. Like there's a lot of people that are super secretive about stuff, but like he said, I know there's a lot of people that follow me for inspiration and get motivated by the things that I've done and I'm doing and how I've grown and everything like that. So I've just always been an open book, and I think that's one of the reasons why I've been able to grow the way that I have, because I have so many people call or like place orders with me, and they'll say like, "Man, I've been watching you since Scraping the Coast 2010 or whatever. Like I met you then, you were cool. You treated me like you were like real cool with me, and I watched you grow over the years. You haven't let the fame or the money go to your head, and like you're still super cool. So I wanted to come to you to support you with a purchase, and that's really awesome to hear from me. And that's I just keep being me. So it's almost like it's easy in a way because like I don't like it's just who I am. Like I'm not putting a front on every day like a lot of people put fronts on to be one person. I've met a lot of people that are this some way on social media, and then you meet them in person and they're totally different. So anyway, and then I'm like, why are you like that, man? Like, why aren't you cool all the time? Like, not just on social media, you're a jackass in person. But anyway, so that's the answers of that question. I said, is it functional? Yes, the truck's functional. Like, I can drive it every day. It's actually at the shop right now, so it has all of its own problems, like just like any other person's vehicle. But man, it whether I have it here or over at the place I keep it at in Alabama, it's costing me money. So it's always I'm actually at the shop right now getting some new wheels put on it. So having to do a little bit of modifying to get these wheels under there. So it'll be
I know you haven't dropped the full video of that, and a lot of people asked me. I wasn't gonna go there because I was like, I want to save it for when you drop the footage on it. Because I know the first thing you dropped was the tire footage from Pet Boys, and the guy's face was just priceless.
Yeah.
But I know I was saying to the person I had answered one of the people back because he just asked me again. That's about the wheels. I was like, he might not want to talk about that because he hadn't dropped that footage yet. But they was asking what size, what this, what that, and if you want to speak on it, you can. But I know you want to save a lot of that for the footage.
And it's not a big deal to me, man. Like I know I do some like hiking and everything like that, but it's not a big deal to me. So we ended up going with some 30-inch dub ballers to go on there. I ordered a set of my initial set of tires that I ordered was what a bunch of people in the industry recommended for the truck, but I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna actually I'll be sharing a picture of the wheel and tire on my truck. When I went back over there, the people calling, they're like, "Man, you might want to come look at this." So I go over there, and everybody knows my truck is so heavy. That's probably gonna be another question. The truck weighs 85 or 8,600 pounds. For this is a vehicle that's 4,500 pounds from the factory. So it's almost doubled in weight that I put so much car audio in there. But anyway, so I had this 25. What was the size of the tire? It was a 30 series tire on a 30, and I think it was a 255 30 30.
So it's 30, 30.
30 30. But with all that weight on it in the back, the rim, like it almost like it didn't even have a tire on the bottom because it was so smashed.
It sat all on the rim.
The rim was literally this far from the ground, like the lip of. So I was like, well, that's out because I can't even drive it. If I even hit a little pebble in the road, it's going to curb my wheel. So anyway, we had to order new tires, which made the tire bigger. So that makes it where it's taking up more fender well. So now we're experiencing some other problems, but that's in the shortest sense of that explanation. That's what we're running. We're going to be doing the 30-inch dub ballers, and I have a spare as well.
Okay.
Put that on the roof.
Oh. Hey, I already know that truck gonna be fire with them 30-inch ballers on it. It's gonna be fire. And I know exactly what you mean about that because I know somebody else that had to do something like that. He has a Silverado on 30s, and for him, he had to end up going with a 305 in the back because he pulls a trailer that has his classic car on it. Every time he hooks that trailer, puts that car on, it would go all the way down to the rim.
Right.
And he had a slight bend on his rim, and he had to end up going to a 305 in the rear.
Yeah. And that's what we were going to do. I was like, okay, we'll just do the smaller tire in the front so it'll steer easier and it'll clear. But we ran into it just like when I went and looked at it earlier at the shop, it just looks the tires way too different in size, so it looks weird. Like you can tell that there's two different size tires on there. So I was like, man, I don't want to do that. We need to just go ahead and go with the other tires on the front as well. So we'll have to put a small lift on it, but it'll be cool. It looks like a Matchbox car. It's got big wheels and like the wheels look oversized compared to the vehicle now. So it's pretty cool.
Wow. I'm speechless because I already know already from what the truck looks like already and how it already performs and the weight of it. And to see it with the 30s on it, it's just going to change the whole look, period. But it's going to look great.
It does, yeah. I mean, I like it. It looks totally different, man. And I'm excited to. If I send you a picture, can you post it in the comments here?
Yeah, I can.
Here, I'll send it to you. I don't know. I'll send it to you on Instagram real quick. I have this little sneak peek picture that I took for my staff earlier. Nobody else has seen it, so I'll give you some. I don't know what you would call it. I'll give you a VIP access to this sticker. This picture.
Mm-hmm. Oh yes, Battler man. Battler man. So I like 30s. Yes, he has. Battler man, what is that? A Charger you have on 30s? A Challenger?
Big boy.
Yeah, crazy man, crazy.
So that picture. I don't know if you're able to look at that.
Let me see. I might have to switch my phone around because I'm using my phone for the video,
the
laptop for this, that for this. So if you send it to me through IG, well, I might be able to pull it up on here real quick. If not, I'll just.
You can ask me we can be talking about the next question until you're able to do that.
Yeah. We're gonna keep it going. Silverback asked this. He said, "Man, basically, Silverback said this. He said, with do you take your home audio as serious as well?"
Man, I know it may seem odd, but I'm a very simple individual when it comes to like at home. Like I'm a very basic person. That's one of the things that people assume about me is that like I have like some crazy home setup or a crazy, I don't know, a crazy house or whatever. They think like because I'm doing like good or whatever they view as good. Like I'm really simple when it comes to my like stay places. There's nothing special. Like I don't watch. Well, I've been watching TV now because we're on lockdown or whatever. But like, so I've been watching TV. But man, it's just like we don't have a big TV. We don't have any crazy sound at home or anything like that. I'm just very simple, and I'm such a hustler. Like I'm always working. Like even my work.
You are.
My work truck has a crazy, like it has 7,000 watts on the doors, 24 6.5, 12 super tweeters.
Hold on, let me see if I can change this real quick. See if I can send this.
Okay.
that you sent me. Hold on. Keep talking. I'm still here.
Oh, here's another picture of us in. That's the second picture. With the smaller tires on there, where it's squished down to where it's almost hitting the rim. But anyway, so I'm really simple when it comes to my home. Like I don't have like anything crazy. Like it's just a regular, no, not even a sound bar or anything. So I'm just not. I usually don't watch any TV or anything like that. But I have been here recently because of the shutdowns and stuff. We've been sticking to the house a lot. Yeah. Okay, I don't. How's your hearing? My hearing's fine. Like I said, I really don't even listen to my system that much. It's really just um, I just play it usually when people want to hear it. Which if I'm just going back and forth to work or whatever, nobody's stopping me for a demo. Usually, very odd that they would do something like that. But yeah, I'm trying to see if we have any other questions while he's doing that. If y'all have any questions for me, you're more than welcome to ask. Um, I had no problem with that. When's the last ticket you got? Um, the last ticket I got was actually from. It wasn't from the last ticket from Loud Music. It was. I don't even know the last time. It's been a very long time because I don't just go out. Usually, I don't go out just playing my music unless people on YouTube tell me to do a video like that. Then I'll go out and do it then. I did a video. I think it was 2 weeks ago, riding around Vegas, disturbing the peace, and it got. I don't know. It's probably 200,000 views already. Um, let's see, what's your RMS to the speakers? Hey, are y'all hearing me okay? I don't know. I've never done this before, so I don't know if y'all are able to hear me without
I
him
know
being.
everybody should be able to hear.
Okay.
Because I can see it moving on my end.
Okay. Okay. Cool. But the RMS power that I have going in my Tahoe is like somewhere around 100,000 watts. So I'll say like somewhere like 70,000 watts on the subs and 70, 75, and then 20, 25 on the mids and highs. So around 100,000 watts of power, decent amount.
Okay, here we go. I'm trying to share my screen. It's acting all funny, and I'm trying to share this just to show these two pictures you sent me
Okay.
and whatnot. Welcome back. Yeah, I didn't go anywhere. I just went to go to forward them to Bluetooth to my computer here, which they're here, and I'm trying to get the screen to share so everybody else can see what I'm looking at.
I mean, I could hold it up like this and show people, but it wouldn't wouldn't be clear at all.
StreamYard is acting up now. It's not letting me hardly do anything. Just crazy. Also, I've had 3 or 4 people send me Cat Locals Garage. He's one of them. They said, hey, are you ever gonna hook New York with a promo code up for his channel so his subscribers can get a deal?
I have a lot of people ask for that. The problem with that is uh, I mark everything on my site as low as I'm allowed to by contract with each company that I'm a dealer for, and I have to stick with that contract pricing. And if I'm caught discounting it, they'll cut me as a dealer. So if I give somebody a discount code and the companies find out like, oh, JP's like selling under contract pricing, then I could get cut as a dealer. So that's why I don't even have a code for me or anybody else like for that reason because I tried to hook somebody up one time and it got around to sundown and they're like, if you do that again, we're gonna cut you as a dealer. And they're like one of my biggest like people
Yeah,
that's one of my biggest bread and butter companies. So to lose that over trying to save somebody 50 or $100, it isn't worth it. Like I could put my whole company under. So
yeah, and that we do not want. We do not
right,
want to, especially being you're my number one supplier. I go through everything for. And also, shout out to you for telling me about Crescendo, the UN series. When I was doing my Harley, and I remember calling you, and I said, "Look, JP, this is what I got. I got a Harley. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But I need something that's going to project sound. And I know I need to go pro audio. You told me this is what I got in the truck. It's going to project as much sound as you needed. And I ordered what 2 sets of those. I ordered a set of 8. Ordered the Sundown sub 8, I ordered Rock Gate 360. I ordered a bunch of stuff just for that bike. And when I got done, I remember hitting you up, and I was like, "Yo, I can't believe, yo, this is what I needed." And I've won a lot of trophies off of that.
Yeah, man, it gets down for sure. It's very nice.
And the mid bass from it was just ridiculous. I mean, I had it tuned at, what was that? First, I had it at 150 hertz, and I tuned it down to 120, and it was just still, no matter how far I turned up the volume, it was still crystal clear. The mids was still there. The crescendo tweeter was still putting out the sound need to put out, and I was just like, wow, no matter what I'm throwing at it, it just every time it keeps playing the same. And then when it broke in, it was even better.
Yeah, they're very good speakers. And I see Queen Bee. She talking about cooking some vegetable soup and stuff. They better be shipping some of that over to Las Vegas. I need some good food too.
Shout out to Queen Bee. She's the first person who ever subscribed to me.
Oh, yeah.
And she's always cooking around this time because she's in the West Coast too. She's out in California. And she's always cooking around this time when I'm doing my live and talk about what she's cooking. She be making everybody hungry, especially me, because I ain't eat. I came down here to do my live, to hurry up and get that going. And that was it. Yeah, it's not letting me post it up. Like it's sitting here when I'm hitting the button to share. It's not sharing. Oh, come on, StreamYard. Why are you acting like that today? Out of all days, I'd never share, but the one time I want to share, here we go.
Yeah, no big deal. But yeah, if anybody has any questions or you have any other questions,
yes, somebody did ask this, and this was one of my questions as well. When are you going to start selling head units?
I get asked that a lot. The problem is, I'm working on adding more staff. Obviously, now it's a very trying time for a entrepreneur or a business owner because
yes, it
everybody knows that everybody's aware of what's going on with the economy in the world today. So I was in the process of adding like more staff, and a lot of people. Well, I had two more in training. One in the warehouse and one up front, another admin type person answering the phone, stuff like that. But to do head units, it's a very I mean, we pride ourselves on customer service, but head unit is a very technical support heavy item. So many people because most people, anytime they get a head unit, they have questions like that, and they don't want to read the manual. They want to talk to somebody on the phone for 4 hours.
Oh yes, Lord.
So at this time, it's just not worth it for us to offer it because we don't have the staff to deal with that kind of customer or that tech support longevity, long phone number. I mean, somebody calls like, "Hey, how do I wire two dual four subs to a one ohm load?" That's different. Like, oh, blah blah blah, and then you're done. Like, if they're like, you have to go to this menu and do this and change that EQ to this and that and that. Like, it turns like if you're trying to tell somebody about a head unit, it can easily turn into a 30-minute or an hour long conversation. So I don't have the people in place to do that yet. So maybe in the future, just don't know right now.
Hey, I completely understand. I actually ordered some stuff from you back in January to do a guy's Harley. And when I did his, I mean, it was a straight media player, nothing crazy, Pioneer media player. And he asked me 50 million questions. I said, hey, I already got your iPhone hooked to it. I already got this. Everything's done. You know, you can actually mirror cast your screen to it and just plug up your phone and leave it in. You ain't got to touch it. You know, he asked me like 50 million questions. So I understand how I can get to the point where it's taking a lot of time out of your time doing that and not having the staff to fill it. But you better be glad I ain't near Vegas. Because I was near Vegas, I'll come up there and put in some part-time work.
There you go.
And as far as like with a business loan I had, somebody also asked me, they said, with what's going on right now here in this world, I'm tired. I want to start my own business. And I'm so glad you're having JP on today. And I just want to kind of just pick his brain about what route should I go if I want to be a supplier?
It would just depend on well, so are you asking as far as car audio, or are you asking just business in general, or like?
Hold on, let me go back to this question because he sent it to me private. I guess he wanted everybody to see it. Okay, yeah, he said as far as the car audio, he says I have a 43,000 square warehouse that I don't have nothing in it right now, and I wanted to get into like shipping a few car audio products out. Nothing too crazy, but wanting to kind of get into it and whatnot. He said, but I don't know the full steps to kind of go into it.
Man, to have a 43,000 square foot warehouse and not to have anything in there is it blows my mind. But I mean, it's not just car. This advice isn't just for car audio. This is pretty much any type of business. Like your biggest thing is, and this is probably my fault for a lot of. I've seen a lot of people come into car audio, try to start a business, go right out of business, like because they. Some of the people some of my mentors are like Scotty Johnson, the owner of Excess Power, Jacob Fuller, owner of Sundown Audio. Like I really looked up to these guys. I still do. They're great people. Scotty is really my go-to guy. Like he took a chance on me before he was the first person to take a serious chance on me. And so I've always had a great relationship with him. Whenever I always go to his show, the Excess Power Show in Knoxville, Tennessee, every year. I stay at his house. Like we're tight like that. So, but I've always had them as him as like a mentor because people really underestimate the value of having a mentor. And a lot of people think they're too good for it. They're like, I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna figure it out. Man, if you find somebody that's been there and done it, they can save you so much time and money. It's insane. One of the other biggest problems is people don't know when to shut up. They when I talk to Jacob or when I talk to somebody that's been there and done it, my mouth is shut. I'm full focus mode. Like I'm like, man, I'm a sponge. What can I absorb off of this person?
Yeah.
The value that they're giving you, you can't put a price on it. I can give you an example really quick with my girlfriend. She does CBD sales, and so she saw me doing stuff online or whatever. So I've always done online sales since I've known her, and I was seeing her. So she started her own little online business, fitrecovery.com, and she started shipping things. She would get an order here and there, and I saw her. She was putting these like little things that weighs like a few ounces in a priority mail envelope. And so it was costing her like $7.15 to ship it. That's a flat rate, like mailing envelope or whatever price. And I seeing her send this out. I'm like, babe, like, you can, if you set up this account through Shipping Easy, is what it's called, you can ship that same thing for $3.10. And she's like, oh, it's not a big deal. Like, I'll just keep doing it. I'm like, no, you have to see the bigger picture. Think of in the future when you ship 5,000 of these things and you've thrown $3 a piece or $4 a piece down the drain, 4 times 5,000 packages. What is that? 20 grand you threw away. So she wouldn't have ever known that if I didn't tell her. Like I've been there, done it. I paid that price, and I shared that information with her, and obviously she's been something like that ever since. But same thing with Excess Power Scotty. He's been a mentor for me, so he shared a lot of information with me, and that's why another reason I've been a super open book, because I want to see people succeed and stuff like that as well. But if you want to, the biggest thing that they tell me is I've probably caused more people to get started into selling audio. Like you're talking about this guy. I know I went kind of down an alleyway right there, but I wanted to give some depth on the answer that I was going to give and why I'm going to give it. Because they told me I've probably created more people to get in or try to get into car audio sales. It's just like on social media. 99% of the time, you're seeing the highlight reels of people's life. You're seeing all the good, all the good, all the good. I mean, you have your negative Nancy's or negative Nicks that are out there complaining about everything all day, every day. But a lot of times, you're only seeing people when they make this big paycheck, when they're out on vacation or like whatever. To see their highlight reels of all the good stuff that's going on. So a lot of these people only see my post of like, oh, he just spent that much money on car audio. Oh, he just got 30s on his ride. Oh, he's got this, like, they see all this good. And they're like, oh, I just want to sell car audio because I want to like have money. Like they think it's easy. Like I make it look easy is what they have told me. So it makes so many people want to jump into the car audio scene and think that like it's easy to do so, which anybody can jump into the car audio scene and start trying to sell car audio. But the problem is you have to get people to buy it. Like why is a person going to buy from you? Like is the thing. The biggest reason why I've gotten to where I am right now. I feel like I have a lot more to go for sure. But to where I've gotten at right now, people view it as um, a very far away from where I started at. But the reason is because one, I've been an open book. Two, I started out just going to car shows, just vibing with people, interacting with people at these car shows. I've always treated people like always wanted to be treated. This has always been a motto for me, and I've never understood people thinking they can treat a person one way and receive better treatment back to them. Like they'll people expect to treat somebody bad and wonder why they're getting treated bad in response. Like they want to treat somebody bad, but they want to get treated like a king or a queen in response. That's never made sense to me. So I've always tried to treat people the way that I want to be treated, which is with respect. Like somebody speaks to me, I always try to speak to them. I get some bad raps sometimes these days because when I go to shows, there's so many people. It's hard for me to get to everybody. So I always at least try to say, "Hey, how's it going, man?" Like shake a hand. But it can come off as like prick-ish because like I'm in a hurry or like there's 50 or 100 other people that are trying to ask me a question. So if I just like shake your hand, like, all right, hey, what's up, man? And like I just keep it moving. Some people take that as like, oh, that dude was a dick, man. He just blew me off or whatever. But it wasn't like that. It was just had so many other people to get to. They just took it that way. But anyway, getting people want to get into it because they can make a lot of money, which isn't the case for 99% of the people. And most people get into any business because there's nothing wrong with making money, that's for sure. But people get into the wrong businesses. No matter how much money you make at something, somebody can. There's people making $1 million a year out there and they're miserable. I can guarantee you that.
Oh yeah.
They hate what they're doing, but they can't give up. It's not in the long run. It's not worth it. You'll burn yourself out. You'll hate going to your job. So talking to the guy, like specifically, he if he's wanting to get into car audio just because he's seen like, oh, this guy's like become successful because he's gotten into car audio, he's selling a lot of car audio. It's not as easy as it looks whatsoever. Like I wake up every morning at 3:45 a.m. Like because I knew when I got started in this space and I found out that I love to do this, I'm like, man, I want to go after this. Like I'm gonna outwork. I'm not the smartest person by any means, but there is nobody, and I feel very confident in saying this, there is nobody in the car audio space that is working as hard as I am. I don't know anybody that's waking up at 3:45 in the morning and going till 10 o'clock almost every night, hustling, like making this happen. So you have to make sure there's nothing wrong with getting into car audio and trying to sell it, but you really need to get into something that you're going to love to do. Like that's the most important thing. Like go after something that makes you happy, that you love to do. Some people, the thing that's going to make them happy is gardening. Some people it's being a door greeter. Like you like talking to people. Like it's different for every person. Um, so that's the advice that I would give to a person that's thinking they want to get into car audio sales because they see, oh, JP's successful. Like he has a cool system. Oh, he's selling all this car audio, making this money, whatever. Like there's nothing wrong with that, but I think that's the wrong reason to get into something if you're just wanting to get into it for money because
Yeah.
it's gonna be really hard for a really long time. Like you're gonna be like after 6 months you get 3 sales, you're like, man, screw this. This isn't what I want to do. I'd rather go work for somebody and get a steady paycheck. But I had to pay that price. I had to go through all that to get started. And now it looks easy because we're selling 50 or 100 orders, packing 50 or 100 orders a day. But they didn't see when I first got started at my parents' house, working out of their attic, hoping I would sell one or two T-shirts every 2 weeks. That's where it started at. Nobody sees that part. They just see right now, like, oh, this dude's shipping 100 or packing 100 orders a day. Like, oh, I need to do that. But that's my 2 cents on that. If you want to get started, and not just car audio sales, the way that you get something started is obviously you need to have startup capital. The way that I did it was I saved up my money. I was working at my full-time job. I started putting money to the side, and I was cutting grass and detailing cars and all this stuff. Anything I had to do, like man, I I mean, I had a grass cutting service my entire life, like as a side gig. Like that was my side hustle, I call it. So I was doing all these things to build up a little like savings, little nest egg, and I ended up getting fired from my job. You probably saw that video, but I ended up getting fired from my job,
I remember that time.
and
I was
that
one of
was
the ones that sent you
a
that video when you
right.
did the video for that. I was one of the ones that told. I sent you a message like, man, and you was talking about doing this. I said, man, go for it, go do it.
Yeah. So that is at the time, anytime like so anytime the rug gets snatched out from up under you, it turns your world upside down. Like you get flipped. You're like, what the hell just happened, man? And like you're used to that whatever amount of money you're making every 2 weeks, you can depend on it, and then whoop, it's gone. Like you're like, oh shit, like what do I do now? So anyway, that ended up at the time I was like, holy hell, like I'm lost. Like I don't know what to do. All I know is I got this $5,000 I've been saving up, like from my side hustle and like just putting it back. So I just took that. So you need your startup capital. I took that and like bought not even a pallet of Crescendo audio. This video is on YouTube as well. It's my very first stocking shipment of Crescendo audio. I put it in a storage unit in Greenville, Mississippi. It was like one little pallet. It had like I don't know 5 amps on it, a few speakers, and
Yeah, I remember that palette.
I was, dude, I was sweating bullets. I was like, man, am I gonna be able to sell this? Like, am I gonna be stuck with it? Why is anybody gonna buy from little old JP? Like, all these questions going through my head. But that's how I got started. Is with that initial. I had saved up my own. Some people do crowdfunding. Some people get a loan from the bank. There's a bunch of different ways of getting that initial startup capital. But you have to get somebody to buy into your dream and idea of you starting this business. If they're going to invest in your business, you have to be able to sell them on the idea of like, why is this person going to give you money to start your business? If they see you're laying around all day, you're staying out all night getting wasted, like they see you're this type of person, they ain't gonna give you no money. Like they're like, this dude's gonna blow this. Like they're not gonna invest in you. You have to be able to sell your idea to a person, get them to invest in your business. Then you have to contact the company that you want to sell for. So say you wanted to sell Sundown Audio, then well, first you got to get your business license, which isn't as hard as some people may think it is.
Not a,
A couple $100, like you can yourself a business license, um, a tax ID number, and then you contact, say, hey, Sundown, like you give them a call. Hey, I want to sell your product. I see it's a popular product. Everybody wants it, so I want to do. You have to do a buy-in with the company. I think it's like $5,000 or whatever it may be. So you have to contact them, do your buy-in, like, hey, I want to get a couple of 12s, couple amps, like blah blah blah. They'll get you set up. Then they ship you the product. Then that's when the work starts. You're like, okay, I got the product, like I got my business started. Why is somebody gonna buy from me now? Like, how am I gonna get somebody to buy this car audio from me? When JP is over here, he has $500,000 worth of Sundown audio in stock. This person wants something I don't even have. It's going to take Sundown 4 weeks to build it. JP can ship it to them in 3 days, free shipping to their door. They don't even have to leave their house. Why are they going to buy from me? So that's what you have to think about. Is like there's a lot to it. A lot of people see that they think it's easy right now. So I know it's a long drawn out thing, but that's a
oh
lot of
no, that's a lot of if that part. I'm hoping this person is listening, and I know they are. If they're not listening, they're gonna end up catching the replay. But I think they're still on here. The craziest thing about it is everything you said is so true, and that's with any business. And for me, being a business owner for over 10 years now, I I I feel everything you're saying and whatnot. And I hope that person does too, and everybody else that wants to start anything. You put in what you get in it, but you have to look at it as you have to just put your all into it, no matter what.
Yeah, for sure. That's the biggest thing. Elon Musk says it very well. He said, like they say, one of his sayings is, everybody knows Elon Musk, owner and founder of Tesla. But he says, you have to enjoy chewing on glass and staring at the sun for years. And what he means by that is that's starting a business and getting it going. So you have to go through this because if you don't love what you're doing, you're not going to chew glass and stare into the sun for a while until you're like, screw this, I'm out. Like I quit. Like I'm not going to do this. So that's But if you do, then you make it through that hard spot, and then you get somewhat to the other side. You're like, man, now it makes sense. Like now it's good what I need to be. So um, let's see. Somebody just said somebody wasn't hearing the stream. Maybe she was having Queen Bee. She says she's gonna restart it. But anyway, yeah. If anybody has any more questions, or if you have any more questions you want me to ask, like you're more than welcome to ask.
Because I'm not gonna hold you up too much longer. I know we right at that hour, and you're a busy man. And for those that don't know,
I'm pretty good right now. So I mean, if we need to run over 15 or 20 minutes or whatever, we can.
okay.
I don't know how your program runs.
Hey, this your show. I'm just here. It's your show. I'm just here. And for those that are listening and that's watching and that's going to watch the replay, I can vouch for that because I've hit JP up about certain things, or somebody had me to want me to do something for them. Because for those that know, I do cardio as well and motorcycle audio as well. And I was like, oh man, I need this to do this. I was sending, him an email. Oh, he'll see it tomorrow. Next thing I know, he responded right back. I'm like, wow. And next thing I already got it. You'll get it in 2 days. I'm like, wow. And that's what brought me. Not just because I met JP, not because we became friends with him and whatnot. And every time I seen him, he always showed me love. It was the customer service, and it was no matter what I needed. If he didn't have it, he would direct me the way. But majority of the time, he had everything I needed for anything I was doing. So that's why my business relationship with you as well has always been so tight, because it's the customer service, period.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we really strive and thrive on like doing the best we can on customer service. Obviously, with the demand growing at Down for Sound and so many people coming to Down for Sound now, it's a struggle to keep providing 5-star customer service, but that is our goal. We always want to try to take care of people as best as possible, ship products as fast as possible. They know here, like my mindset and my goals are known through the company. So they're through the company here, like they know if our shipping cutoff time for UPS is like 7:45 p.m. and an order comes in at 7:40 that's going to be shipping UPS, it better be out the door. Like there's that hustle mentality here. Like, no, don't wait till tomorrow. Like, there's no procrastination. We're just on that. We're all on the same wavelength. We talk all the time. We communicate, and that's huge. I see somebody says, "What brand subs and mids do you like?" Obviously, I like the Down for Sound mids. We just came out with those this year, but they're made by.
Congratulations on that.
I appreciate it. They're made by a company called Def Fonts, a very popular Russian brand. They have been in.
What up, Box?
Second.
No, somebody was shouting out Box Performer. Shout out to Box Performer. I see you in the building.
Okay. So yeah, that's the Def Fonts mids. Like they ended up doing a collaboration with me to make me my own mids. So I got the very first set of mids that I came out with. I actually have like 10 years. They're the product of over 10 years of research and development into my very first set of speakers. Because, in my opinion, the Russians at Def Fonts, like they're great people, and they are very serious about having their systems like on this elite level. So I was very excited to have that come to fruition. They pretty much presented this to me on a silver platter. They're like, "Hey, we developed these speakers. This was going to be our next line of the Def Font Sylvester series and the Def Font Arnold series. If you want this to be the Down for Sound series, like here it is." I'm like, okay, that's awesome. So people have been loving those. I think we got 1,000 of each size. So there's two different models. The D4S60 is 180 watts, and then the D4S65 is 200 watts. So we got 1,000 of each one, and I put the D4S65s in my work truck, and people found out about those. And those, like, I think we may have like 100 left of those. So like we've already sold over 900 pairs of the D4S65s, which is crazy. And then the D4S60s haven't got as much light because I haven't done a video using them yet. So I figure we're almost close. So I'll probably be swapping my doors out to the D4S60s soon to show people that they're very capable speakers at a more budget friendly price as well. So right now, actually, they're on sale right now for 15% off the D4S 65s and the D4S 60s on the website. So I'll be changing that back, I think, this Friday. So if your listeners want to take advantage of that 15% off sale, they can do so until I think it's this Friday. So they're normally $200 a set for the 65. So those are 169, and then the D4S 60s are normally 150 a set, and I think they're like 123 or 127 or something like that a set. And that includes free shipping inside the continental US as well. So pretty good deal there.
Oh wow. Okay, no, I appreciate you coming through. James 6978 said, I'm already on the website looking. I see the deal. I'm buying some right now.
That's awesome. I appreciate the support for sure.
Yeah, and also, JP, one of the other things, for those that's on here that already know, I have a 1976 deuce and a quarter. I've been buying stuff slowly for it, but I've been trying to work on my LT4 swap to go in it, work on my interior, and then when I got ready to get the interior stuff done, I was going to hit you up for what I needed. And what I was going to do was I was coming to Vegas to show people, like, look, this is what is all here, this is what's here, what he has, and do my shopping right then and there. Like, look, I need this, I need this, I need that, I need this, and then just have you just ship it. Now, after you came with your line of speakers, it had me thinking. I was like, you know what? I still have some Crescendo PWXs that I still have tucked away for a rainy day, brand new, never been used, anything. And I was like, I was gonna put those in it, but then after you came with your brand, I'm like, you know what? I might just get those, put those in there, have Slick make me a nice grill with it, so everybody can see in there and see the brand and see the name and see that, yeah, they may be a little bit lower budget than everything else, but they sound just as good.
Yeah, I mean that would be good if you wanted to do some other speakers like in one of your rides. I mean, you'll love them, no doubt. I mean, I know I'm probably somewhat biased because they're mine, but a lot of people have told me the same thing. They're like, man, I've had all these other speakers, and these are the best sounding ones I've ever had. So very very humbling to get reviews like that for sure.
Oh, well, that's all. That's what's up. Yes, Box Performance. He is in Vegas, and his link is actually posted. Well, it was posted up in here. I'll make sure it's back in here again here in a second. But yes, he is in Vegas. But you can order everything online and have it shipped to you quick. And when I say quick, I'm in Kansas City. When I was in Atlanta, it took 2 days. I'm in Kansas City. It gets here in the same amount of time. And that's what I love about JP and his service. I mean, good customer service. They ship right out. And also, JP, I must not forget, my kids, my toddlers, they love that you put the pops in there.
Yeah.
Every time I open up a box, and my wife, every time I open up a box, they look for like, hey, all the dum-dums in here. I say, yeah, JP always throws these in here.
Yeah, man, a lot of it's funny, like, and this is like, I mean, you'll encounter haters as well, as you're, if you get into business, or I mean, not even business, like you'll get into, like people that don't approve of what you're doing for whatever reason. But we put the suckers in there just as like a little happier or whatever. I mean, and we've even started buying Haribo gummy bears, which is a high-end gummy bears. Like,
oh, that's new. I didn't get well. I haven't ordered them in about 6 months because I'm still got a supply still in the garage.
Yeah, so they're in orders. I think the threshold for the gummy bears is like around 750 or so. Every order gets a sucker, obviously, but if they're like 750 or above, they get like a nice pack of Haribo gummy bears. Like, so people have really been posting about those, but the cost, obviously, the cost of them was a lot more than a Dum Dum. So I had to make sure we put it in on the orders where people, if somebody just bought a sticker and we give them $1 a pack of gummy bears, like it doesn't make much sense. Like it doesn't compute well on the business side. So we've probably over the course of since last like through Black Friday, we instilled that. I don't know if that's the right word, but we started that process of the gummy bears right before, like 3 weeks before Black Friday started last year, and we've been doing that ever since. So up until now, we've given away almost a pallet of gummy bears.
Wow.
A pallet of gummy bears. I mean, I've probably given away, if I had to guess, since I started doing the sucker thing, like 4 or 5 pallets of Dum Dum suckers. I buy them in like huge like cases. It's crazy, but that's just an indicator to me that like we're moving, we're helping more people, we're getting more people product, and That's the bigger picture for me.
Yeah, that is the bigger picture. And that part I definitely like I said, just the little small details you was throwing in the box. That was something great. Sad
Yeah.
soul.
And so I see the guy, Box Performance, he's in Henderson. Yeah, man, if you need anything, come by and hit us up. Right now, we're only doing curbside pickup because of the craziness that's going on with the
Yeah,
virus or whatever. So we're just trying
with
to,
the bill.
yeah, we're just trying to do it that way. But yeah, we'd be more than glad to get you taken care of. And going back to the haters real quick. So the ways that the haters spin it on the dum dums that I give people on their orders, they're like the only reason why the haters say the only reason why I'm giving people suckers is because I'm calling them a sucker from ordering from me.
Really?
Yeah, I see it on there's a page on Facebook. I see them saying that every now and then. I'm like, man, you really have nothing else better to do.
You know what? I saw that too, and I just looked at it and I just shook my head and just brushed it off because I don't do drama. And I'm like, no, y'all don't understand how he is. He really is a good dude. And I'm like, you know what? You can't please everybody, and somebody's always gonna say something.
Yep.
But for me, like I said, JP, I love your grind, love your hustle, and like I said, best customer service I've had hands down. So that's why everything I try to order from you when I need something, or like for instance, somebody just came to me recently and was like, "Well, what's going on? What's going to get you to do my Harley?" He said, "I got a brand new Harley. I don't like the sound system." And I said, "Well, we just changed speakers. I put this, put that." I just hit up my guy JP. I just ordered online, have it shipped here, do this and do that. But now he wants to hold on now, and well, whenever he's ready, he's ready.
Oh,
But
I know those type of people. I deal with them
yeah,
all the time.
all the time, and I just wait. But every time he hears my bike, he's like, "Oh man, I want to ride beside you to hear yours." Man, you have a brand new 20. Well, it's not. Well, it's still brand new. 2019. It was the
Yeah.
last brand new 2019 they had on the floor when the 2020s came out.
That's right.
And I said, "You have a brand new bike, but it don't sound nowhere near like yours." I'm like, "My little 2011 Street Glide. Well, it ain't little, but it was older." I'm like,
Yeah.
I just invested, and I knew what I needed. I hit you up. I remember calling you that day and said, "Look, this is what I got. This is what I need." And you told me what to go with. And I said, "All right, well, let me put it in the cart." I put it in the cart, ordered it, paid for it, done it, came, I did it. And like I said, it blows a lot of people away here. They're like, "That bike sounds so good." I said, "Shout out my boy JP, down for sound. I can get you sounding the same way for a
Well,
small price."
yeah, that's awesome, man. I don't know why I wasn't aware that. So you have a business all set up and everything. Like, is that what you do full time? Is like
Well,
install? Or
I have an IT business. With my IT business, I can do a lot of things within my business.
okay,
So a lot of people came to me and was like, "Hey, who does your stuff? Who does this?" I was like, "I do my own stuff." "Oh, can you do mine?" So like, I'm in a motorcycle club, so so half of my club brothers, I did all their stuff, and club
right,
sisters did half of their stuff. Then
yeah,
from there, it branched off to we would go to events and go to parties and whatnot, and they would have sound competition, and I was blowing them out the water.
oh
"Who
yeah,
did your stuff?" "I did it." "Can you do mine?" Like I literally had a guy come all the way from Oklahoma City, which
nice,
is 4.5, 5 hours. He trailed his bike and his wife's bike here. And
right,
I did it. They brought it up that weekend, that Friday. I was done with both of them by Sunday. They came right back by, I took them, and they took them back home. And they rode the Sturgis. This was last year. They rode the Sturgis, and it was like, we had people asking us, "What do we have?" Because it still looked like nothing was there. Even though my bike, I did like your truck. I went far and beyond. I mean,
right,
far, far and beyond and did extra. But for theirs, I kept it looking factory, and you couldn't tell anything was done to it
yeah,
because I even put the same factory radio, but it had the UN crescendos up front, and the 6x9s. Instead of putting 6x9s in, I put the sundown 6.5 you were selling. You had just got them at the time,
yeah,
and I ordered the set. I ordered a set of those, and they had the same setup, all hooked up to a what amps you have. I had to use the same motorcycle amp, so I had to end up using Phoenix Gold amp, the 6 channel amps with the subwoofer output, because
yeah,
that's what fit on the road glides. It fits perfect, not to add any extra.
yeah,
So when they went around, next thing I know, my name started going around, and next thing I know, I got a 3-car garage, and I had 6 bikes in there,
nice,
doing them all at one time. And people
yeah,
come to me all the time, like, "I want to sound like you. I want to sound close to it. I just want to sound good. I want this. I want that. I want this." So with my
that's
IT business, I can kind of wheel that into it. So that's why you were always, like I said, the go-to person I got everything from, period.
yeah, very cool, awesome.
Yes, definitely. Definitely very cool. The guy that you was talking about earlier that answered the question, he said I actually was listening. I was driving and couldn't text and drive. I'm trying to hurry up and get home before the curfew. He said, but thank you for telling me that. He said it gives me a lot to think about.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's another thing, having mentors. Like, I listen to so many people, especially people that I already done. Like for you, for instance, everything you've done, I've listened, even what you said now and things you said in videos, and I apply it to my everyday life. And I tell people, you get motivation from everywhere, not just from one source, one person. I get motivation from everywhere. And if I've seen somebody do this and they say, hey, this is a mistake I made, don't make this, or look out for this, or look out for that. And I remember you did a video, it was years ago, when you was like, pay attention to the reviews, pay attention to this. Some people not gonna like this, but pay attention to these, pay attention to that. And I've always done that for so many years, and it has worked.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you definitely want to pay attention to. You always have to like. So another misconception that people have is like they think they want to become their own boss, so they won't have to listen to anybody. They won't have to answer to anybody. But go from
right?
listening to one person or answering to one person, which is your boss, to answering to thousands of people, which are your customers. So if you're going to do it the right way, because if you don't listen to what your customers are saying and the needs that they have, you probably won't be in business long because it doesn't work that way.
Exactly. And I was just telling somebody that actually a couple of weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago, and he was like, man, you run your own business, you're doing this. I said, man, you don't work for nobody. I said, actually, I do. I work for everybody. All my clients, I work for all of them. I have to listen to what they say, what they want, what this. I said, instead of listening to one person or two people, I listen to everybody.
Yep.
And he didn't kind of get that. And I was like, when you start your own business, what you go through that period. And I know you relate to it just as much as I do. And for that person I was telling it to, they're actually listening. And he said, oh, boy, you bringing that up. Yes, I'm bringing that up because I see you on here. And the thing about it was I went into depth explaining to him, like, yeah, you work for yourself, but if you use to that check every 2 weeks or every 3 weeks or every month, every week you get it, it might not happen like that until you get stable and going. And it took me a long time to get to where I had steady money just coming. It'd be sometimes it was hardly nothing, but I got a strong support system and they know what's going on. They know when it comes, because sometimes it floods and then sometimes it's a drought. It happens.
Yeah, for sure.
It happens. It happens. Oh, Mr. B said, oh, he just rolled up in a place to be. He said, I love the bass drop videos. Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah. We're actually working on one right now. I have like some help now on editing my videos because like I stay so busy doing. He gets the girl's hair flying. Yeah, man, he'll get everything flying for sure. But yeah, I have a person helping me with the video edits and stuff now, so that helps a lot. So it's, I gotta take a second to give credit where it's due. There's no way that I could be where I am today without having the team that I do. I have a team that they work very hard and they help me more than I could ever. There's no way that I could do this by myself. So like I have not as many people as some people may think. I think we have one, two, three, four, five, 5 full-time people here. So still a very small company, but I know my team, they're really hustlers. They work hard and they're not scared to put in a 90-hour work week if like business is crazy and we're just trying to stay on top of everything. Like it's all of our goal, our same goal. We're like, we got to get this done. Like everybody's on the same page. So it's very important to have good team members that you can rely on. You cannot grow and do great things like all by yourself. Like you have to eventually get help. If you would have asked me this 4 years ago, I would have told you I'm always gonna do this on my own. I'm always gonna do like this is always gonna be me. Like I was like, it's gonna be like I'm gonna do customer service. I'm gonna answer the phone. I'm gonna pull orders. Gonna pack orders. I'm gonna reorder my products. I'm gonna deal with everything because nobody's gonna love my company as much as I do.
That's fine.
I was wrong, and they may not love it as much as I do, but you can find good people to help you. to grow your company. Like you cannot you cannot. My thought was like I can do like say $1 million a year in revenue and keep it all for myself, but that would be probably all I could ever do is that. Like there's no way I could physically do more than that because I was already working myself like 100 hours a week. Like I couldn't do any more myself. Like I was already working 100 hours a week, and that was the maximum that I could do by myself. Like I could not physically, mentally, I could not do more than that because that's just the cap of what I could do by myself and still be providing. At that point is when you start slipping. Like your customer service goes down. Like you have so many people hitting you up. I'm just one person. I have so many people hitting me up. I can't get to everybody. So then people's not getting their questions answered. They got a problem with the shipment. Got something got damaged. Like I tell them I'll get back to them. I forget about them, and that whole snowball starts. Like so, you have to have help if you want to get to the next level. Nobody's ever done something super over the top great by themselves. Like you have to have help through it. So you have to find, and you'll go through people too. You'll find people that you may think that'll be the right fit that doesn't end up being the right fit. I always thought as well that whoever I got on my team would always be on my team, but that's not always that's not the case. Like it's not that they can still be good people. They're just not the right fit for what needs to be accomplished. I went through a few people. Not that they're not bad people. They're good people. They're just not the right fit for what we do up here. So if somebody stays at a job, like I have this thought opinion as well. When somebody stays at a job they don't enjoy, they're doing a disservice to themselves and their employer because they're not happy. Like if you're not happy at the place you are, you're doing a disservice to yourself because it's causing you your happiness, and nothing should cause you no amount of money should be worth you being unhappy all the time.
Yeah.
And that's my 2 cents on that. So and people can tell when you're not happy at a place. Like you'll start popping off at people, like you'll start talking down to them or just giving them an attitude when they don't need to be. They're just a customer. Like why are you giving them an attitude for coming and purchasing something from them? So um, you, it's really important for people to really love what you do. I mean, everybody's going to do a job sometime or another that they don't enjoy. I mean, I started like you go through different phases of your life. Like I said, I start my very first job was chopping cotton, literally chopping cotton in the fields of Mississippi. So obviously, I didn't want to do that for the rest of my life. But you have to go through these steps. And something else that just popped up in my head is people want to skip from say here to all the way or which way all the way over here. Like they want to skip the whole
Yeah.
process.
Great. Oh God,
They
yes.
want to but the problem is, and I actually made a post about this, or I did a little live video. Every now and then I do a live video on my personal Facebook page, talk about finances and just my 2 cents on maybe what's wrong with the world today or whatever. It's my personal Facebook page, so I'll put it out there, and if people don't like it, they can block me or whatever. I don't care. But I was telling them, so many people they think they want to start out at the top. They want to go from nobody, nothing to company owner, executive, and make
Quick.
make $10 million a year or whatever. But
Hmm.
if you've probably seen people like these reality shows or whatever. You see these kids that go from never working, never nothing. Their parents hand them down $100 million a year company, and 2 years later is out of business. You can't do that. Like they don't know what it takes. They don't. If you don't know what it takes, it will never work. If you don't have the the I guess perspective and respect to get this to go from like the very bottom to the very top. If you skip all the in between there, you don't have the appreciation for that level that you reach. You don't know what it took to actually get there if you skip from the first step to the 100th step. Like everybody says, you gotta climb that ladder. You have to make those steps. And
Yeah.
so many people want to skip from the bottom to the top, and it just doesn't work like that. Even if you get from there to there, you don't appreciate it because you don't know what it took. You don't appreciate being at that level. So very important to take the steps, do the work, put in the work, keep grinding, keep hustling, and like once you do reach those next levels, man, it's very refreshing and rewarding when you get there. I know it
The
is for
best
me.
reward ever.
Yeah.
I mean, the best reward ever. I know somebody had asked me off of this. They hit me up on IG and they said, "Man, you've been having a lot of epic guests. You've been doing this." I said, I don't think you know the grind I put in to do it. Yeah, I know a lot of people. Yeah, I've ran into a lot of people. Like JP, I ran into you over 10 years ago and whatnot. But you know, I have to still hit people up. I have to, do my whole groundwork, hit them up, um, work with their schedule. If something happens with their schedule, be able to change and be able to adjust with the time and just be able to adapt to every situation. Doing the promos, making sure they like the promos, which everybody loves them so far. If a guest canceled at the last minute, being able to still keep going, and it's a lot that I put in. And I ain't even talking about others. I'm talking about just this because I had somebody ask me like, "You just do it so smoothly." I'm like, "Well, I love doing it for one, and no, I'm not getting paid to do it. I'm doing this because I love doing it. Maybe one day I get paid to do it if I get monetized. Maybe one day, yeah. But right now, and shout out for the people that helped me get almost 500. I'm almost at 500 right now. So for me, this is the love of it. I love doing it. It doesn't bother me, but it's a lot of hard work. It's a lot of grind. Later on, it'll pay off, and I'll be like, well, you know what? I did this and did that to get to this point, and it's paying off. And I'm glad you're saying that because I need people to listen to that. Period. Like, it's especially with some of the younger generation I come across. A lot of the younger generation, they think that, oh, I'm just gonna go to school. When I get out, I'm gonna end up making this. No, you're gonna start from the bottom here and work your way up.
Yep.
Period.
I got hit with that um, humbling realization myself when I graduated from National Auto Diesel College. I finished second in my class out of I don't know how many people were in there. I finished second in my class, and I was like, all the teachers love me and everything. They're like, man, you're hard worker. You're doing all this. Like, we see what you're doing. We're gonna report you to the higher ups in our company or in the school, and we'll be sure to get you a job to like a BMW or Mercedes or some like high end car company. Because I actually went to college for auto collision repair. I wanted to do auto.
So did I. At University of Georgia Vocational School in Athens.
Exactly. So I wanted to paint cars like that. I love doing it. It was like that's just something that I love. So I went to school for that. They're like, yeah, man, no problem. You'll finish. Like you did great. We'll like give it 2 weeks after you get out, and we'll have you a job at Mercedes or what, like some crazy company. You'll be starting out at 60 or 80,000. You're like, dude, man, all right, let's I'm with it. So anyway, I get out. 2 weeks goes by, no phone calls. 2 more weeks goes by, no phone calls. 2 months goes by, no phone calls. I'm like, what the hell's happening, man? Like they told me that I was gonna be good. Then I realized that when people can tell you a lot of things in life. That doesn't mean they're always gonna come true. That doesn't mean they're gonna come through. So you cannot ever something that I try to one of the things that I try to tell people is never let people affect you to where if somebody, like you said, somebody cancels on you, if somebody tells you they're gonna do this and they don't, like if they don't come through, don't let that destroy your entire day. Or even if you need to go cry for 5 minutes, get it out. Like go do whatever. Like, but do not let that ruin your entire day, man. Like so many people, well, I call it like they'll stump their toe in the morning and like getting out of the bath, they'll stump their toe. They let that one bad thing, they let it ruin their entire day.
Every day.
And
Exactly.
so I tell people, don't let some little whatever it may be, don't let it derail you from what you can't do. I had a guy message me. One of the I'm not gonna say it's a bad thing, but one of the things that people one of the it's not bad, but when people see you're always positive, you're always upbeat, you seem like you have it all together, people seem to come at you with a lot of their problems in life. Like last night, and it's not often. I had a guy like message me, man, I don't want to live anymore. My girl left me. My dad tells me I'm not worth anything. Like this whole laundry list of stuff. Like, and I live in a crappy town. It's nothing but drugs. Like this whole laundry list of stuff. And like
Wow.
somebody comes to you like telling you, and I hear this every now and then. I mean, to that severity of like somebody wanting to end their life because nobody likes them, or they feel like they can't get started, or like nothing's ever going to happen for them because they're letting people affect their head. Like there's man, your mind, like I tell people all the time, your mind is such a strong thing if you can control it. Like you have to be in control of your own mind because if not, other people are going to control your mind for you. This is like that guy, that kid, I call him a kid, he's probably in his early 20s, but he's talking about like, man, you cannot I sent him a few videos. I'm like, man, like I'm gonna be blunt with you, and like you cannot let people affect you that way. You have to know that there's nobody in this world that's worth losing your life or causing you to lose your life over. Nobody should ever tell you that you're not worth whatever that's making you think that you need to like end your life. So just know that I started out from the very bottom as well. He posted the same, or he commented, or he messaged the same thing. I see. I watched you for a while, and I saw you go from like it seems like you've always done well, and I'm like, but you, how long have you been following me? He's like 3 years. I'm like 3 years. You've pretty much seen a lot of the upper crust of where I've gotten to. Like you don't see me 10 years ago like you when I didn't have business. I was cutting grass and pumping gas at the airport. You don't see that part, and I came from a town of 15,000 people that had drug problems, that had like there was a lot of the same thing. Like you, uh, so don't let those people, your girl leaving you, that's a blessing. Like if somebody leaves you, like that lets you know that they weren't right for you anyway. It doesn't seem like it at the time because of your heart's broke. You're in your feelings, so it doesn't seem like it at the time. But 2 years down the road, if you get your stuff together and you meet this girl of your dreams, you're like, dang man, like was I so tore up for if you let it kill you? I mean, if you gotta have a week or a week off or whatever because your girl left you, like yeah, that's something that's gonna break your heart. Like yeah, no doubt, but don't let that take years of your life away because this woman left you or your dad told you was a piece of crap that you couldn't achieve something because he couldn't or whatever. They'll always tell you that you can't do something that they can't do. They always want to project what they've not been able to do. Like they'll always project that on you because they don't want to see you outperform them. Me, I've been lucky because my dad's always like, I always like he's always told me I want you to be more than me. Like I always like I want you to achieve like if you think I'm like this cool or this like I've reached this level of success, I want you to be so much better than me. That's what I want. I want
That was.
yeah, so my dad, like I was blessed with that. Like my dad, like he instilled that work ethic into me, and that's like I say that a lot. It's hard for me to say with a clear face because like I have a great relationship and respect for my dad. He's a very hard worker, and when the days get long, like that's I think of my dad when he came over from Germany. He was 7, and he went from he started in dirt floors. There, the house that he started in. I know this is like totally off, like in left
No, no,
field.
no, it's not. It's real life. Period.
But my dad started. He like I actually flew my dad back to Germany to his hometown this year. I don't know if you saw that, but
Yeah, I saw the video. I watched every video.
yeah, I took him back to Germany to his hometown. I wanted to see where it all began. I wanted to see where my dad was born. I wanted to see the house he grew up in, like how poor they were, and when he moved over to the United States when he was 7, and they lived in like I wanted to see it all. Like and they lived in a shack, literally a shack in the middle of the woods. It was one room, dirt floors. Like they were that poor when they moved over from Germany to here, way
Wow.
back in the day when he was 6. Just I can't even imagine it. Like you move over, you don't speak. There's no app on your phone. Hey, tell so and so I need to go to the store in Spanish, and Siri just automatically translates it. There's nothing like that back in the day. You don't speak the language. You're screwed. Like
Lost.
the difficulty level of him getting started back then was insane. Like I can't even imagine it. So for him to go from where he was to becoming I call it the American dream. Like if you, a lot of people think if you reach like a millionaire, a single million status, like it's like an American dream for whatever reason. But he worked his ass off from absolutely nothing, dirt floor poor, to investing, sacrificing, working. He worked at the same company for almost 40 years, and he just sacrificed. Like he just knew his motivating thing was, he's like, I knew when I was a kid and we didn't have anything to eat, and it like he told his mom or my grandma like when she was alive, he's like, I don't want to be poor anymore. I don't want to be this way. Like how do I not be this way anymore? And all he knew was work. Like all he knew, like I gotta work, I gotta work, I gotta work, I gotta save my money, I gotta put away for a rainy day. This is all I knew. Like he wasn't the smartest, just like me. I'm not the smartest person, but he knew work. Like he knew I can outwork any person at the farm. I mean, he did all the crazy jobs too, like whatever, shoveling shit. Like he did everything. So for him to get from there to being financially free this day and age, like, and he still works because he loves to, like, he likes to grind. He doesn't work for that company anymore, but he gets up every morning. He gets to go tend to a farm. It's not even his farm, but he's like, hey man, he pretty much works there for free, like because it gives him, they say once you get to a certain age, like a person retires, then they die. Like they're like, man, I can't wait to retire, and then 2 years later, they kick the bucket because they quit. They don't have something pushing them. They don't have anything to look forward to or whatever. So he gets up every morning. He goes to the farm. He feeds the animals. He does this stuff. Like he has his rounds he makes every day. So he's got that, and now he has a different work schedule. So we're not that's something. He's my biggest motivator and biggest person. Like at the end of the day, like all the money I make and everything like that is cool. Like all the people I help, all the people I meet, like all that stuff's cool. But at the end of the day, like my parents telling me that they're proud of me is worth more than all that. So
And I know how you feel, and I say cherish them. My dad passed away in 2018, and he instilled all that same thing into me. I cherished it. Period. And that's why my work ethic was like through the roof. That's why I do so many things instead of just one little thing. I'm broadening everything. Period. So your story is kind of like mine, except your parents are still here, and I say treasure them while they're here.
and that's
Because you
what
never know.
I
You
was
just never.
supposed to get back home last weekend, but obviously all the stuff came out, like the flights were getting canceled and everything like that. I Up until that time, I was flying home. When I first moved out here to Vegas, I didn't go home for a year because I was broke. Like I didn't have any. Like I was the money that I did have. I was like, man, I got to invest it back into product. I got to keep flipping it. I got I don't have anything else, so I got to make this happen. So I didn't go back home for a year, and then I finally like saved up some money and started. I've been doing a little better at that time. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go home like 3 times a year, like every 4 months. I'll go home and visit my parents because like I already missed that whole year after moving out here. And then I was like, okay, what can I do next? All right, so like up until this last trip that I had to cancel or whatever because of the virus or whatever, I was like I go every single month to visit. I mean, once a month to visit my parents. I fly back to Mississippi
Right.
them because of that reason. Like I hear stories like that all the time, and I know like people that's life. Like people aren't around forever, and that's why I go back every single month. Like I'm like this will never be money. I'll never regret whatever money it cost me to go back and visit my family, take my family on vacations, take my dad first class to Russia. To We flew first class, everything. Like I spent a ton of money doing that. Like more than I ever thought I would spend on doing something like that. But I knew it would be a trip of a lifetime, and I would never regret spending that money, like
And,
having those memories with my dad.
and not only that, for me watching the video, to see the look on your dad's face and the smile, to me that was priceless.
Oh yeah, I've never. He really enjoyed himself, and like it was money. Like I do it again. Like I'm trying to be like, well, now I have to take my mom on a trip. She's like, I want to go somewhere cool. Like she's all like, she's like, what about me? I'm like, all right, so I have to. So she's wanting to. Well, obviously, I usually do something for her every year for her birthday. I usually fly her out here, but she's wanting to go. Like I told her, like, mom, wherever you want to go, like you just tell me and I'll make it happen. Like I don't care if it's Russia, Australia, Hawaii, like you name it. Like we'll do the same exact thing for you. So I'm I feel very fortunate that I've gotten to the point of being able to do that. A lot of people aren't able to do that, so I would never take that for granted. I'm very humble when it comes to that, but I want to use those resources to do those unbelievable trips like that, or unbelievable things with my parents, with my family. Like that's the biggest thing for me, is being able to do something like that with them, because those memories you can't put a price on. Like no matter what it costs, like it's those memories that'll last a lifetime or even longer. So like you said, I really take to heart people telling me don't, and I would never take it for granted. But every time I hear a story like yours, like or I hear so many people post like, "Man, I wish my dad was still here to do this. I wish my mom was still here. I wish I would have told him this, that, like all these things." Like every time I see a post, like I try to call them. I have a rule on my phone. I don't get like a lot of phone calls. I'm not really a phone call type of person. But if I go to my phone history and it's not within the first screen, if my parents aren't on there, I call them. They need to always be there on the last however many people. If I haven't talked to them, then that lets me know I need to call. So I try to I usually talk to them every other day or so, with keeping that mindset on like how often I need to call them. But somebody said, how many years you been doing YouTube? I started a little bit later. If you know me, you may know Steve Mead. He's like the OG
Yeah,
car audio.
shout out to Steve Me, another good dude.
Yeah, for sure. I talked to him a lot. He's a hard worker as well. He's doing a great thing over there. He started in 2006 when YouTube first got started, so that's why he's the OG of car audio. He was the one doing all the car audio stuff before anybody could even think of it.
Yep.
And I think I've been on YouTube now for 8 years or so. Like it's I can't remember. I have to go back to my first video and find out, but or 8 or 10 years.
I
But
would say it's more like 10 because I had my other channel then, and
uh,
I went to a lot of shows that year.
yeah,
Scraping the Coast was one of them. Another show in Tennessee you were at. I went to one in Mississippi you were. It was like every show I was going to you was at that year. So
yeah,
I
yeah,
want to say it might have been 2010, 2011 ish, somewhere along in there, maybe.
yeah, probably
Yeah,
so.
I want to say somewhere along in there. And yes, Hammer Wrench and Bills, he is one of the most humbling people you ever want to meet. And I can sit and talk to JP all day. I really can. I can sit and talk to him all day. Real cool dude. And I've been saying that since the beginning.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it means a lot to me. Like I tell people, some people think they I don't know, like people always have their 2 cents about you and like what you're doing and who you are or whatever. But uh, and I get that. Like people are like, did you hear about what so and so said about you or whatever? And I'm like, dude, I know I know who I am. I don't care what somebody says about me. Like I know who I am. So that's
Mm,
the biggest thing. Like people, man, people just let words affect them. It's okay to let words affect you in a good way. Like if somebody's feeling inspired by what they've heard from me saying, like that's a good thing. But don't ever let somebody talking down to you or cussing you out or whatever. Somebody cussed me out like a dog, and I just like, all right, whatever. Like you're not getting to me, man. My mind game is I work on my mind more than I work on like working out. Like I work out a decent amount, but your
yes, you do.
the more important part is your mental, like your mental strength, your mind game. So that's people need to like protect their minds, and strengthen those the most. Um, but yeah, so it's very humbling for me for people to follow me and get inspiration from me when I feel like I'm just doing my own thing. Coming up on a decade on YouTube. I guess you are right. 10 years. So 2011. So
It
that's
was
what.
11. I thought it was 10. Oh, no, I met you in 2010. So that's why I thought it was like
Well,
around that
I had
time.
the first YouTube channel and that one got hacked and deleted, and then I started the second
That's what it was. Yeah.
one. So
I remember that because that's when I had my other channel, which I just regained back thanks to a good friend of mine that works for YouTube now. He found my old channel, reactivated it, because I lost contact with it and whatnot. And
yeah, and
I did appreciate him for that.
that's another thing. People, if just think about like, there's been so many times before I got my mind right that I wanted to quit. There's like one of the times was when my first YouTube channel, like I just got to like I don't know 20,000 subscribers. Somebody hacked it, deleted it, and I'm like, man, screw this. Like I did all that work, and somebody just like hacked it and deleted it, and all that work's gone. Like I don't have any of it anymore. Like screw this. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing anything on the internet anymore. Think I don't know where I would be if I would have let that kept me down forever. If I would have just gave up at that moment. There's been several. I mean, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be in this building. I don't know what I'd be doing, but I highly doubt I'd be where I am today. Like, there's no way I'd be right here without the internet. Like if I would have been like, screw the internet, I'm not doing it anymore. Like, and even after I got started doing car audio sales, trying to get into it, one of the biggest transactions. This was another thing. What I almost quit Down for Sound because my biggest first order was it was like $6,000. Somebody ordered, I think it was like six scar or 5 scar 4,500 watt amps or something. And I'm like, holy man, like I've just been selling a couple of t-shirts like for $20 here and there, and then somebody just comes and drops $6,000, like $6,000 purchase. When you had never seen something a purchase like that come across, my mind was blown. Like, man, that's awesome. We contact Scar, drop ship that, get that taken care of. Everything is good. I'm like, man, this is awesome. This is a good business I need to be in. And then I'll never forget, I just got on the plane. I was leaving Vegas, going back to Mississippi, and we were taxiing out on the runway, and I got an email that said, your account has been debited however much that's $6,200 via a chargeback because somebody placed an order on your store with a stolen credit card.
Oh.
So I got screwed out of 6 scar 4,500 watt amp and $6,000. If that won't take the wind out of your sails when you think you're about to start doing something with a business, that I was like, screw this. I'm shutting the site down. People are just gonna like take advantage of me. Like, and there's people out there like that. We have a lot of things in place now, a lot of fraud protection software, and like a lot of things that we can track these people down. If they happen to see through, we can track them down and like cause a lot of problems in their life. But at that time, I was like, I was this close to quitting. And
well, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah,
I know what that feels like. I've had that happen to me with doing some work. I used to have a lot of Cat 5 and Cat 6 cabling, and somebody hit me up and wanted to buy all of it, and it was the same thing. And luckily, my bank was able to catch it before I even shipped any of that out. So had I shipped it out, I'd have been out a lot of money.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the way it is with that. And I share that story with people, those two stories, because if I would have quit, then none of this would be here. Like if I would have gave up, like I don't know where I'd be, but I wouldn't never have. I wouldn't be in this 10,000 square foot place and like possibly moving into another one. Hopefully the economy recovers here soon. Luckily, a lot of people are still buying car audio. I'm grateful for that. Like a lot of people stuck at home are trying to get their car audio builds done and like taking advantage of the quarantine times and stuff. Like they're buying tons of car audio right now, so I'm grateful for that. I wish everybody well and hope everybody stays safe and healthy. And gonna keep pushing this thing to see what we can push it to.
Definitely. Well, JP, I ain't gonna hold you up much longer. This has been one of the best interviews and best sit downs I've had in a long time. No offense to anybody else, because all of them are all great. But to get all this knowledge that was just, this is one of those, it'll make me go watch it at least 2 or 3 more times to make sure I ain't miss anything, even though I'm right here in it.
Right. A lot of people, it's like that with books as well. Like people will read a book one time and like, oh, I read that book. No, you need to read that book 5 times. You need because you'll get little nuggets from it every single time. Like it's just impossible to absorb an entire book or a video just watching it one time. Like you'll go back like, oh, I didn't even catch he said that first time. I didn't even know. Like it was pretty easy to start a business license or whatever. Like you get distracted, everybody gets distracted. You just kind of pick up something every time. So it's always cool to go back and watch something again. But yeah, it's been my pleasure. Thank you so much for everybody that joined in and watched me. Like I said, it's very humbling for people join in whenever like I do something like this, and I watch and listen to my story and everything. So like very humbling for me. So I appreciate y'all spending your time to come and spend it with me here with my boy.
Yes, especially during this whole time. And y'all, JP knows me by mostly by my government name, which some of y'all don't know and probably won't know because I just go by New York, period. But at the same time, for anybody needs any car audio needs, anything you need for any kind of car audio, Down for Sound's place to go. Trust me. I'm not just saying it because I know him, we cool, we friends. I'm saying because I order a lot from him. I spent a good bit of money. I spent a lot of money, but it mostly was for other people, getting stuff for them, getting them the right deals, getting them to sound right. And I'm telling y'all right now, hit him up for anything you need as far as any cardio stuff. And man, somebody else said, man, I'm just not catching the show late, but I'm loving what I'm seeing. I'm going back to watch the replay. And I went to the site and I see he got a lot of great things. He got a few things I need. I'm looking for a 5-channel amp, and he has a great deal on one. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. And JP, man, appreciate you for coming through and whatnot. Like I said, I can sit and talk to you for hours. And yes, when I know I'm coming to Vegas, whenever this blows over, I'm hitting you up to let you know, hey, I'm coming by, and I need a shopping cart because I'm coming to go shopping to get stuff for my deuce in the quarter. Because right now I still have I have 1, 2, 3. I have 4 12s, but no amp. I have those PWs, the PWXs, but I'm like, I might do something different. So I know when I get there, I'm be like a kid in the candy store when I get there.
Cool, man. It'd be my pleasure. Like I always try to take time. Like people come by to see me from like all over the place. Sometimes I'm in town, sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm in meetings when they come through. I see them walk by. Like I always try to go out there. Somebody makes time to come over to like see my place. We always give a tour. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes I'm here. If I am, I always try to go out there and at least tell them I appreciate them coming by to see me and shake their hand and just tell them that I appreciate them taking the time to come see me and a lot of purchase stuff while they're here too. So definitely appreciate the support, and it'd be my pleasure to have you come
Well,
by.
I'm gonna make sure you there. I'm gonna make sure you there.
Yeah,
I will move around the time to make sure you there. Period.
sounds good, man. Well, I hope y'all have a great night, and once again, thank you for having me
Oh, no problem. And you family, you can always come by anytime with no invitation needed.
on. All right, I appreciate it, man. Hope you have a great night.
All right. All right, for everybody that's still here, peace out, JP.
Yeah.
For everybody that's still here and whatnot, I know Queen B, you look for story time. I can't top the story. The story he gave, I cannot top because he gave his testimony and whatnot. A lot of it I already knew. Like I said, we've been friends for a long time. And when he got ready to start his business, I remember he put out the video for it. I actually messaged him because I had his number and whatnot. I still have it. Messaged him and said, "Man, go ahead and do it. I'll support you. Whatever you do and whatnot. You know, if you start selling audio equipment, I'll buy." And I've been buying from him ever since. Period. And also for box performance, I did not leave you out and whatnot. I saw you question about the El Camino. I could actually hook you up and tell you some stuff to put in it that sound good for El Camino because I've done a handful of them. So definitely, we'll definitely talk about that on IG and whatnot. I know it's kind of late, and whatnot. And nice to hear about his dad. Yeah. So but he's done a lot for his dad and whatnot. And I love what he's done. Period. And I'm one of those when it comes to how my dad was. My dad, my last parent living. My mother passed when I was a kid. So with my dad, I was doing all the same things. Even after I moved from there, I was going back and forth there a lot to see him, especially when his health was starting to fail him and whatnot. I was always there to go see him, and I was the last one there to see him when he passed away. So I know exactly how he feels. That dude has like 4 neighbors on his truck, or maybe more now. Yeah, he has a good bit, but I mean, he redid the whole electric wire and everything for everything to work flawless like it was supposed to work. And also, I must apologize, y'all. I know I was on this live a long time, but man, I want to hear the whole story, and because, like I said, I've watched him a long time. He's inspired and motivated me to do a lot of things that I've been doing. And as you see, he found stuff about me. So, oh, you're on the business doing this, doing that. Even he didn't know that. But shout out for y'all rocking with me. I will be on live tomorrow. Tomorrow, my guest, and it will be at 8 p.m. Central Time. So look at your calendars, look at your time. It will be Racer X. You do not want to miss it. He will be on tomorrow. So until then, y'all, like I know Queen B, see you next time. See everybody tomorrow. And y'all be safe out there, be kind of one another. And also, if this hasn't even taught you a thing about what I've been always saying. Reach out to somebody you haven't spoken to for in a while. Let them know you love them, let them know you care. Try to squash that beef and whatnot. And man, life is short, especially with y'all all know what's going on out here. I'm glad you were on longer. I'm always fast food late. Yeah, Mr. Beast, I know you're fast food late, but yeah, I wanted him to tell his whole story, so that's why we was on as long as we've been on. But my time has run out, y'all. I haven't even eaten anything. Queen B already made soup, talking about soup and all that over there made me hungry. So I'll catch y'all tomorrow. I will be here, like I said, 8 p.m. Central Time, which is about 9 p.m. Eastern Time, which is West Coast Time, at 6 p.m. I will be here in the place to be with Mr. Racer X himself, and hopefully get Mrs. X on as well, because they both doing some great things out there, and I got a chance to finally meet him in person and talk to him and whatnot at the Dallas event. So until then, y'all, I see y'all. Y'all be safe out there, be kind to one another, and be back here tomorrow. Until then, peace.